is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
Last night, the Tigers and Twins tried desperately to play Game 2 in this series, but Mother Nature had different ideas. A massive rainstorm hit Minneapolis last night, and as a result, last night's game was postponed. The tarp was on the field. It rained all night long, but today, that rain has turned into a nice afternoon here in Minneapolis. No tarp on the field, and we have baseball Game 2 in this series, and the beginning of a doubleheader between the Twins and the Tigers. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Ron Allen, we're glad to have you with us here for the second game and the first of a doubleheader here this afternoon between the Tigers and Twins. And really, Rod, big possibilities for the Tigers. They sweep this doubleheader today, and all of a sudden, they may be in one of the wild card spots.
That's a great point, partner, because the Baltimore Orioles, they go up against the Boston Red Sox once again here tonight in Boston, and they have been swept so far in the particular series, and there's no team right now any hotter in baseball than the Boston Red Sox. So if the Tigers can go out and handle their business today against the Minnesota Twins, they could find themselves not in first place, but in that wild card second spot when the night's over.
And we'll see how it works out here this afternoon. Two games today. The first one has Sanchez and Dean before the last game tonight, and that, of course, will be the main event. But Anibal Sanchez trying to get it going now for the Tigers.
You know, I like Anibal in this start here today against the Minnesota Twins. One, he has good career numbers against them, and he's already been stretched out, so they don't really have to have a bullpen day. If you're looking at what Minnesota has to do here today with Dean starting, they might have to have a bullpen today, so I like the Tigers. In the nightcap, obviously, Justin Verlander has pitched an outstanding baseball really all season long, but Santana also is a very tough assignment for the Tigers. So good day of baseball here. Hopefully the Tigers can somehow take two from the Minnesota Twins, who are one of the worst teams in all of baseball.
All right, now one of the guys we'll keep an eye on for the Twins this afternoon, the youngster Byron Buxton. He really didn't do a whole lot early in the season, but the month of September has kind of been a new year for him.
You know, it kind of takes young high school players a little bit longer. This guy was a very high drafted player, second overall behind Carlos Correa just a few years ago, but he's really come into his own in the month of September. He's hitting for much more power. He's got a little abbreviated leg kick. He gets it back down. He has nice weight transfer, and he's got lightning quick hands anyway. And there might not be a better defender in center fielder in Buxton. This guy takes tremendous routes. He covers a lot of ground. He loves to leave his feet, and he's always making spectacular grabs in the outfield, as he did here against the Detroit Tigers a couple of nights ago. If you're the Minnesota Twins, this is one bright spot that you're looking for in the month of September when you're on the verge of losing 100 games. You have a guy like Byron Buxton, you can go out and you can watch him every single day, and he's fun to watch.
Get a pot of coffee brewing. We're going to be here all day today, but that's good. The Tigers a chance to win a couple of ball games this afternoon. After a short break, we'll send you back to the Coliseum Studios. Check in with Matt Shepard. How about we get a sweep today? The Tigers and Twins coming up next on Fox Sports Detroit. More like it, a gorgeous day for baseball here in Minneapolis. Still some clouds in the area, but the sun trying to peek through, and the good thing is no rain here this afternoon. Tigers and the Minnesota Twins, game one of a doubleheader, and it's Cameron Maybin getting set to lead things off for the Tigers here this afternoon. Their starting lineup presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. It'll be Maybin, Iglesias, and Cabrera in the top three spots. Miggy DHing here in game one. J.D. Martinez at right, Justin Upton in left. James McCann will do the catching. Jones at third, then Saltalamacchia and Romine rounded out for the Tigers this afternoon. They are facing the left-handed slants of Pat Dean.
And Dean has made some starts this year. He also has pitched out of the bullpen. The numbers aren't glamorous. Either way, the ERA sits at 6.71. He's got a fastball that tops out at about 90 miles an hour. He'll throw a lot of sliders, also curveball and change. He's not overpowering whatsoever.
So Maybin getting set to lead things off here. Game one of two. The game later today will be played tonight, so it is a split doubleheader. The proceedings last night do not count, so everything that happened in the first three innings last night washed away.
Even though Dean not a hard thrower, he's not afraid to use that fastball to get inside to some of the right-handed batters, as he's trying to get in there right now to Maybin. And then he'll simply go back outside with backdoor curveballs. He'll fade the changeup away from the righties as well.
He's come inside twice on Maybin, missing once. 1 ball and 1 strike. Cameron looks at a ball inside, run the count to 2-1. Maybin was 2 out of 4 in the opener in this series, and in the leadoff slot with the continued absence of Ian Kinsler, who was out earlier today taking some ground balls, so he's progressing. That ball hammered in the air to center field. Buxton is on the move, still going back. He looks up, and that ball is off the wall. Maybin is on his way to second, and he'll lead this ball game off with a double.
That might be the furthest ball I think I've ever seen Cameron Maybin hit the opposite way. I mean, he jumped all over a fastball there from Dean and nearly hit that ball out against the traffic to right center field over the out-of-town scoreboard. Did not know Maybin had that kind of pop in his bat.
Well, you could just hear the ball echo off the bat.
And Tigers should have a very positive day here against Dean. Dean has given up a lot of home runs already this year, whether he's pitching out of the bullpen or whether he is pitching in the rotation.
Iglesias in the 2 spot for the Tigers. And he'll slice one to right field, a base hit. Maybin had to hold up, so he'll cruise into third, and the Tigers in business early here this afternoon.
That is textbook baseball. When your leadoff hitter gets on a double, a stand-up double, your number 2 hitter comes up, a guy that can handle the bat, like Iglesias, and he's simply trying to hit the ball the other way. Look at the bat angle that he creates here. He's creating the bat angle to hit the ball the opposite direction, simply giving himself up. But he was rewarded with a base hit.
So about as good a start as you can expect here. A double by Maybin, a single by Iglesias, and now you've set up Miguel Cabrera here with nobody out. Miggy DHing in game one. There's a bouncing ball to third. They might get 2. And the relay is in time as Sano thought about coming to the plate, but the double play will score a run, and the Tigers lead 1-0.
That is the 25th double play that Miguel Cabrera has hit into this year. Sano really could have come home and gotten Cam Maybin. Cam got off the bag quite a ways. And even Dozier could have come home if he wanted to after he got the feed from Sano. Maybe a little later in the game they don't allow the Tigers to score that run, but maybe in the first inning they're conceding the run. They'll take the 2 and give up the 1 there.
And double play means no RBI for Cabrera on that play. Tigers lead 1-0. J.D. Martinez steps in now. He was 1 out of 3 in the opening game.
Tigers very aggressive this afternoon against Pat Dean. That is 3 of the first 4 hitters that have swung at the first pitch. It may have been the only one that did not swing at the first pitch.
Now Dean with the 0-1. Bouncing ball to third, foul. No balls and 2 strikes. Very light crowd here this afternoon. Of course, this game was not on the schedule, so the crowd is pretty much a walk-up, and that's about it. Or those that decided whose tickets last night.
Yeah, plenty of seats to be had today.
Are available to come in today. There's a ball low and in, and the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That's why
Martinez.
That's why if you're the Tigers partner, you got to reach and dig a little deeper today. There's no crowd activity, so there's no one that's going to get you up. But you're playing to get into the postseason, so somehow, some way, you've got to find that energy that will allow you to go out and play a real good game.
Yeah, I would agree with that 100%. And really, when you come into a situation like this, and there's not much buzz, and as we mentioned, you can really hear the echo of the ball off the bat. You got to find a way to get yourself ready for this game. Here's the 2-2. Rolled foul.
Let's take a look at the Minnesota Twins starting defense. It is presented by Tim Hortons. In the outfield, they've got Grossman. They've got the very talented Buxton in center field. Kepler, he's had a nice offensive year. Polanco, Dozier up the middle, and the 2 big fellas on the corner in Sano and Vargas. A couple of guys that look like they should be playing on Sunday afternoon.
You're not kidding, man. Big fellas is a perfect way to describe them.
I mean, is there a bigger first base, third base combination in all of baseball?
No, I don't think so. Sano and Vargas. There's Vargas at first base. Sano back in their lineup today after missing some games with a bad back. Hammer to right field on a line, but Kepler will get back there to the warning track to retire the side. Tigers get a run, and we go to the bottom of the first. Started with a double and scored the Tigers' first run of the game, and now the Tigers send Anibal Sanchez to the mound, presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Overall, in Anibal's career, he's got real good numbers against the Minnesota Twins hitters, but he has not fared very well this year against Twins. As a matter of fact, he saw them just 7 days ago, and they scored 6 runs against him. Very important for Anibal to make the necessary adjustments this afternoon.
So Sanchez staked to an early 1-0 lead. Will go to work. And he will face Brian Dozier, who is starting things off for the Twins.
No issues today with Anibal Sanchez as far as the pitch count is concerned. He was pretty much in the Tigers' rotation, and before they decided to skip him yesterday in favor of Buck Farmer.
Dozier 1 for 3. Has a 23-game hitting streak.
Yeah, they weren't sure whether Dozier would play today. He got smoked. I mean, absolutely smoked last night on an 0-2 fastball that ran inside, hit him right in the ribs against Buck Farmer.
Here's the 2-0 pitch. Driven deep to left field, way back, and that ball is gone. Brian Dozier has homered yet again, and just like that, it's a 1-1 game.
You know, they've pretty much been able to keep him quiet in the first couple of games of the series. Obviously, the one was washed out last night, but what they had been doing to Dozier, they had been throwing him balls on the outside part of the plate, which makes it difficult for him to do what he does best, and that's hit the ball back to left field, where he just does an enormous amount of damage. Of his 42 homers he's hit this year, I think 31 have come against the American League Central.
Dozier 42 and RBI 99, and he continues his assault on the Central. Here is Polanco, the shortstop. He'll look at a strike 0-1.
That is now 100 runs scored for Dozier for the 3rd consecutive season. So this guy's just an outstanding offensive player, but he's a really good defensive player as well.
Polanco strokes one to right center field. That ball gets down to split the gap. Over there to cut it off is Martinez. And Polanco slides into second, and a double for the Twin shortstop.
Anibal Sanchez has to pitch with a little bit more conviction out there, a little bit more energy right now. He has to slow down this Minnesota Twins team now. That's a fastball that's right down the middle.
Back-to-back extra base hits here in the first inning for the Twins. Here is Max Kepler batting in the 3 spot. Kepler was 0 for 2 with a walk in the opener.
Kepler, outstanding fastball hitter. Be careful when you throw him fastballs down.
Kepler's 16 homers this year. He's knocked in 60. He's had a terrific rookie season, despite the fact that he's batting only .237.
Yeah, the 60 ribbies he has driven in. Those more than any other rookie in the American League.
On the inside part of the plate, says Gary Cederstrom, 0-2.
A nice job of getting ahead of Kepler. First pitch changeup after the first couple of fastballs he threw in the game. One hit for a homer, the other for a double. He pulled the string on Kepler, then came back with a good fastball.
Backed him out of there. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sanchez has only 1 win in his last 8 starts. He has bounced between the rotation and at times the bullpen this year for the Tigers. It'll bounce low and away, level the count now, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Been a couple of difficult years for Anibal Sanchez. He gave up a ton of home runs last year. He's already given up 28 home runs this year. So the home run ball has just been a huge issue for Anibal Sanchez the last couple of seasons.
Two and 2 on Kepler. And there's a bouncing ball towards short, coming to third base. The tag is going to be in time, and Polanco is out of there at third.
That's a bad base running play there by Polanco. As a rule of thumb, anytime the ball is hit directly at you or a little bit to your right, as this ball is hit, it's hit right at you. There's nowhere to go. You've got to know where the shortstop Iglesias is playing. And if you know where Iglesias is playing and you're Polanco, then you don't make this mistake.
He was out by a wide margin. Jacoby Jones applying the tag, so Polanco is out of there, and the Tigers certainly will take that exchange.
And be careful here. Anibal Sanchez needs to make sure he keeps Kepler close at first base. They will try to run on Anibal here today.
Big Miguel Sano with 23 home runs stepping in. Been bothered by a bad back of late. Did not make their recent trip to New York to play the Mets. Sanchez allowing the leadoff home run to Dozier, then a double to Polanco. Here's the 1-0. Sano had a big rip, fouled it back. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sano this year has knocked in 60. Also missed a few games earlier this season with a bad hamstring, as Sanchez continues to keep a close eye on Kepler. Kepler 5 out of 6 this year in stolen base attempts.
I like the fact that Sanchez is paying quite a bit of attention to Kepler on first base, not going to allow him to get a huge jump. He wants to make sure he keeps his double play in order with Sano in the batter's box. Sano doesn't run very well. Also hits the ball very hard on the ground.
Well, that's 3 straight throws now to first base. Now Sanchez with the 1-1. Sano back in their lineup today, batting in the cleanup spot. You got Vargas waiting on deck, so there is some power in the middle of the lineup today for Minnesota. Checked it, low and in, and the count now will go to 3-1. Vargas lurking on deck. Sanchez this year has had trouble against right-handed batters. They bat .313 against him. And they give up the home run to Dozier here in the first. Runner bluffs and it's fouled back out of play. Here is the rest of the Twins lineup today, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. We saw Dozier, Polanco, and Kepler. Sano batting cleanup, and Vargas and Kurt Suzuki DHing this afternoon. Grossman, John Ryan Murphy, and Byron Buxton rounding it out for Paul Molitor this afternoon.
And nice opportunity here for a strike him out, throw him out.
Runner goes, a swing and a miss. Here's a throw down a second. Going to be tardy, just a little bit late, and a stolen base for Kepler. That'll be his 6th of the year. Well, he is in scoring position, 2 gone.
And Sano already with 161 strikeouts, so you knew there was a chance that he would get the strikeout. That's a nice job there. Nice throw by McCann trying to get Kepler, who tried to swipe and did swipe his 6th bag of the year.
Tigers are taking a look at the video here to see if they want to challenge. Ooh, they may have gotten him there.
They may have gotten him.
That replay looked like he was out. G. Lamont relaying what Matt Martin is seeing underneath in the video. Yep, let's look at it, they say. Kepler appeared to beat the throw. However, on that last replay, it looked like the tag was slapped on there nicely, and a good strong throw from James McCann.
And McCann is one of the best throwers in the American League. Really, McCann, one of the best throwers in our sport. And it looked like that tag may have been applied to the knee of Kepler there by Romine. Take a look at where Romine takes his throw, though, you kids at home. You want to straddle the bag just as he is straddling the bag right there. That allows the ball to travel all the way. And all you have to do is catch it right where he caught it right there and simply apply the tag to the left leg. It's a wonderful job there by Andrew Romine.
He's going to be out. Tigers challenge here. Call on the field is safe at second base.
Getting the folks up early in the command center, New York, partner.
And they saw it the right way. He's out at second base. Strike him out, throw him out, ends the inning. Good tag there by Romine. Twins, though, tied up on the home run by Dozier. The top of the second, game one in this doubleheader today from Minneapolis. Stay tuned to Tigers Live. Following the game, we select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers player of the game. Presented by McDonald's. Stop by for your breakfast favorites now being served all day. The truck has already put their order in. They want J.D. Martinez this afternoon.
They're going early. They're not even asking, do you tell them that they first, or they just jumping the gun these days?
Nope. They told me in the break, we want J.D. All right, you can have J.D. Fine. What do you want, Rod?
Give me McCann.
Oh, I was going to take him.
Oh, were you?
There's a foul back out of play.
You got Jay up. He going to do some damage today, too.
I'll take Upton.
Dean's good hitting speed for Jay up.
Dean gave up a double to start the game to Cameron Maben, and then a double play ball later in the inning scored the Tigers run. Upton sends a ground ball to short. Ranging left is Polanco. And Jay up is out, one away.
This is what Dean will do. Dean will start you off with fastballs inside about 90 miles an hour. He'll even cut some fastballs at about 87, but what he wants to get to is that changeup right there. That ball was left up, but you can see the Justin a little bit too aggressive in the count that he was in and just rolled over on the shortstop. It's going to be very important for the Tigers not to roll over on that pitch, at least the right-handers, because Dean will throw quite a few of those this afternoon.
Here's the catcher, James McCann, with one out. And James looks at a ball high, 1-0. Dean threw just 13 pitches in relief in his last outing against the Mets on the 16th. And McCann looks at a strike called, 1-1.
After spending 7 years in the minor leagues, and Dean made his major league debut in the month of May this year.
Here's the 1-1 offering. That'll miss low and outside. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Just about everything that Dean has thrown to McCann in the first 3 pitches have all been away from James. He will at some time try to go inside.
And McCann looks at a ball high and away. Dean back on May 16th made a start in Detroit. He went 5 1/3, gave up 10 hits in that game, but only 2 runs.
They call that scattering 10 hits.
Yes, scattering is the perfect way to describe that. McCann now waiting on a 3-1 pitch. He'll foul it back out of play, 3-2. McCann 1 for 4 with a homer in the opener. It was a 3-run shot. James now with a total of 12 of those on the year, which by far surpasses his number from last year in his rookie season of 7. And he'll look at a strike. Got him, and McCann is out of there. 2 gone. First strike out of the ball game for Dean.
After several fastballs away from McCann, along with a couple of changeups, he finally went to the breaking ball that stayed up in the strike zone that McCann could not pull the trigger on.
We'll bring up Jacoby Jones, who gets the call at third base today. And for Jacoby, it's been a little bit of an up and down baptism here in the major leagues. He had such a quick start when he was called up earlier this year against Chicago. Had a couple of really good games. Here's the 1-0 pitch.
He has a chance to have a tremendous future. Lloyd McClendon, who managed him for about 85 days this year, said that he will show you some flashes of brilliance. He will show you the future in some of the things that he does, and he showed us that, Mario, the first 2 games he played in the big leagues.
Yeah, he got to Chris Sale his second game as a major leaguer for a couple of hits.
He's got bat speed. He's got a strong arm. He's got some speed. He can do everything on the baseball field. It just needs some experience.
The one thing I do remember, though, is the Tigers then went to Kansas City and faced Danny Duffy, who threw him a steady diet of breaking pitches.
That's right. He's been getting a steady diet since then.
Tied him up on that afternoon. 3 balls, 1 strike on Jacoby Jones, but the physical skills are evident.
I think Brad has kind of picked the proper spots for him, and getting him reps against left-handers and also right-handers that aren't too difficult.
Good rip there. 3-2 on Jones. Well, he's going to play fall ball in Arizona this offseason and concentrate on learning the intricacies of center field, which they say he's got a pretty good jump on as it is.
Yeah, he says he prefers center field over playing third base.
Popped up. This will head back toward the seats and out of play.
When I first talked to Jacoby when he was called up a few weeks ago, he was telling me a story about he played in the Cape Cod League and for a couple of summers. And he said he played center field in both of those years where he played in Cape Cod. So center fielder not necessarily foreign to Jacoby.
The 3-2 swing and a miss. He struck him out. Tigers go 1-2-3. Dean with a couple of punch outs. Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be when it's time. Come to Comerica. And by Jeep. Conquer all of the world's most challenging places now during the Jeep Celebration event. Back here in Minneapolis as Anibal Sanchez goes back to work in a 1-1 game. We're headed to the bottom of the second. Game 1 in this doubleheader between these two teams. A day-nighter here at Target Field. Kenny Vargas leads it off. And he fouls off another no balls and 2 strikes on Vargas. Suzuki and then Grossman to follow here against Sanchez, who allowed the home run to Brian Dozier in the bottom of the first. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss, and down goes Vargas.
And Vargas was swinging and missing quite a bit last night. Wasn't it Vargas that snapped the bat over his leg last night?
Yeah, he's a strong guy. He snapped it right in half after a punch out. 1 away for Suzuki. 2 strikeouts now for Sanchez.
8 home runs this year for Kurt Suzuki. 3 of those have come against the Tigers. He's had a nice offensive year this season against Tigers pitching.
In there, a strike called on Suzuki. Kurt is a native of Hawaii, and there are only 2 other native Hawaiians that have played more games in the major leagues than Kurt Suzuki. Here's the 0-1. That'll get back out of play. Shane Victorino was one of them, the flying Hawaiian.
Right.
And you remember a guy named Mike Lum?
I did not know he was from Hawaii. I saw that a couple of days ago, but I did not know that Mike Lum was from Hawaii.
Yeah, he used to play for the Braves. That's the team I remembered him with. I didn't either. Victorino we knew. 0-2 on Suzuki. And a bouncing ball to third, foul.
That's the one thing you can't do if you're Anibal Sanchez. You have to pitch these Minnesota Twins hitters away because they're all dead pull hitters, and you can't make mistakes like this. When McCann wants the ball away, you cannot make that mistake right there to Suzuki. Although he got away with it.
Little chopper again toward third, foul.
And Sanchez has the fastball that gets up to about 93 these days. Average heater right around 90. He's got a sinker. He's got a cutter. Also has a good curveball slider and a really good changeup. And the key for him today is first pitch strikes and then trying to expand the strike zone to a, by and large, very young, over-aggressive, swinging Minnesota Twins team.
Popped up again, foul, back out of play. Well, that last start that Sanchez made against the Twins, he was literally unhittable for 3 innings, and then the roof caved in the 4th.
Yeah, he was throwing all fastballs at the beginning of that contest, and then all of a sudden he went back out there for the top half of the 4th, and he led Dozier off with a changeup, and Dozier hit it out of the ballpark.
And before it was over, Sanchez 4 innings, 6 runs in that game. Now his offense bailed him out. They came back to win that contest.
And pretty good numbers overall against Twinkies in his career. 5-4 with an ERA just a shade over 3. And whip at 1.16, averaging 9 strikeouts and per 9 innings as well.
I am told by a Minneapolis native that they don't appreciate being called the Twinkies. So I'm just passing that information along to you.
Okay.
For further edification.
Now, why don't they be like?
Now, would you want to be called the Twinkies? It's like they used to call the Metrodome the Twinkie Dome. The baggie. That big baggie they had out in right field. 2-2 on Suzuki.
Well, sometimes they call the Tigers the Cats.
The Kitties, Motor City Kitties.
Yeah, they don't like being called kitties.
Just bringing it up, that's all. The 2-2 pitch is low. 3 balls, 2 strikes now on Suzuki. Grossman on deck. It is a 1-1 game here in the second. Verlander and Santana in the nightcap tonight.
That will be a very entertaining game. Verlander has been very good lately.
Hammer to left field. That ball is caught on the run by Justin Upton.
Ooh, real nice jump there by Jay Up. Let's take a look at the rest of the Tigers' starting defense. It's presented by Beaumont Health. You know Jay Up is in left field. In center field, you've got Cameron Maben once again. J.D. Martinez in right. Iglesias and Romine are up the middle. You've got Saltalamacchia making the start over at first base. His 6th of the season. Jones at third. James McCann is the catcher. He took a direct route to get to that baseball. That's the only way that you can run that one down.
That's a fair ball. Nice play there by Saltalamacchia, but he fired it over the head of Sanchez.
You got to take your time, Salty.
He had plenty of time to get Grossman, and Salty knows, my bad. 2-out base runner.
Saltalamacchia has not played a whole lot of first base. He goes over it and he makes a nice play, but he just kind of flips this ball underneath, and he's too much wrist. When you flip the ball underneath, you've got to have firm wrist, and you just have to kind of shuffle the ball to the first baseman. He kind of flipped that one up in the air, and he flipped it right over the head of Anibal.
2-out runner now. Here is John Ryan Murphy. Error on the first baseman. Saltalamacchia keeps the inning going. Murphy looks at a ball inside. Only a 145 batting average for Murphy. He was 1 for 3 in the opener. At one time, a very high round draft choice of the Yankees, a second rounder back in '09. Meanwhile, Sanchez has made it a goal here to keep base runners very close. Swing and a miss up with the letters of Murphy.
Well, opposing teams have already attempted 28 steals this year. Well, they've attempted 29 steals with Anibal on the mound, and that is far more than any other Tigers starting pitcher. Far more.
Now the 1-1 pitch. It's a strike called. Up with the right hand goes Gary Cederstrom. Murphy, 1 homer, 3 RBIs this year, was brought back up from the minor leagues on September the 3rd. Now the 1-2. Popped up. Heading back toward the seats. Here comes Salty and McCann back out of play. Sanchez allowed the home run in the first, a double in the second. That's it. Now a 2-out error here in the second. Sanchez, a long look at McCann. And they go up top again and strike him out swinging. Third strikeout of the game for Sanchez. Nothing comes of the 2-out error.
It has to be one of the most unusual ball games that many of us who've done this for a while have ever witnessed. It is an intimate gathering of folks. This is going to be an Oprah Winfrey kind of a day as it pertains to foul balls. You get a ball and you get a ball and you get a ball. I'm not sure we've ever seen anything like this, Mario and Ron.
Minor leagues, Keats. I once did a game where the attendance winner guessed 43 and won.
Somebody in the press box was saying, well, it kind of feels like a spring training game, but that would hurt a spring training game's feelings, I'm thinking.
It's more like an instructional league game, to be honest with you, John, or an extended spring training game. When I started my coaching career, we played in front of audiences like this on a daily basis.
It is definitely unique, and we'll sort of file this one away. You can understand with a rain that has sort of plagued Minnesota and the game getting canceled last night, this one being the makeup game as to why it is, but it is still very, very weird.
Well, that guy right there just loves his seat, and he's not giving it up no matter how far he is.
Absolutely chilling. He picked his own friends today.
Saltalamacchia, the batter. Well, I know this. It makes every ball that's hit sound like it's going way over the fence because the ball is really echoing today. 2-1, the count on Saltalamacchia. And he'll look at a strike on the outer edge, 2-2.
So far, after the first inning, Dean doing a nice job of mixing up that fastball, going in and out, going up and down, mixing in a breaking ball, also an occasional changeup.
Soft line drive toward left, a foul ball just outside of the line.
And you don't see many left-handers whose fastballs that don't get above 90 miles an hour try to get inside on as many right-handed hitters as Dean has tried to get inside on so far here today.
Infield playing to pull, 3 defenders to the left of second against Salty, who pops it up foul, out of play. You know, you bring up the comparison of an instructional league game, and I would imagine we kind of touched on this earlier, but you've got to really, in your mind, create energy, don't you?
You know, there are times, Mario, where they'll have a really nice prospect. They'll draft a high school kid who's really not ready to go to West Michigan. This is the Tigers. They will get them out of instructional league and out of rookie ball just to get them in a different kind of environment where there's fans in the seats, to give them that professional baseball, you know, experience.
And the feel, and it's not existent here today, but still they play the game, and tonight should be a lot different.
That is 3 straight strikeouts for Dean.
Got to admit, it looked a little shaky early on for Dean, a double, a single, but then he got a big double play from Cabrera that scored the run, and nothing after that.
Tigers got some tough baseball coming up here the next couple of days.
There's a chopper to third, foul.
They will play the doubleheader here today. They will get back to the Motor City, what, about 2:30, 4 o'clock, 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. Night game tomorrow night, then a day game on Saturday. So a lot of baseball the next couple of days for the boys.
Yeah, it's going to be a grueling stretch run for the Tigers, and the competition. I know KC is not having the type of year they wanted, but they're a good team.
Oh, they always show up to play.
And then the Indians, and then the Braves, and that's a Braves team that's starting to show a little bit of fire at the end of the year.
Hey, dude, it is a scary team right now. No one wants to play the Braves. Just ask the New York Mets. They just swept them, and the Braves have been one of the best teams in baseball in the month of September. So much for strength of schedule.
Yeah. Here's the 0-1. You know, I saw a tweet from our good friend C.J. Nitkowski, the former Tigers pitcher, who last night said strength of schedule in the major leagues, it means nothing in baseball.
I don't get it. I really don't. I mean, obviously you have the Minnesota Twins. That's a struggling team, but on any given day, they can get a nice start. They can get Dozier show up and do what he's been doing, and they can win a game.
That ball's going to find the gap, cut off in left center by Grossman, and a big wide turn, but Romine will hold up with a 1-out single. Well, you see the Tigers have KC this weekend, then 4 of them against Cleveland, and at that point the Indians played for a couple of things, obviously trying to clinch the Central, but also clinch home field advantage.
Yep. And if you're Major League Baseball, the one thing that you might want to address next year, you cannot have an American League team finishing the season in a National League ballpark. I mean, you can do it the other way around, but you just really can't do it to an American League team finishing in a National League ballpark.
Tigers did it, in 2013, I think, in Florida.
Yeah, how'd that go for them?
And, well, they got no hit on the last day.
They got swept.
But you're right. I mean, it just can't happen. And Brad was saying that even if Victor Martinez was healthy with the knee, he was not going to play him defensively. So they flat out lose him as the DH.
Right. That was my point.
1 ball and 1 strike on Cameron Maybin. He had a double in the first inning and scored a run. And Maybin looks at a ball that darts low. 2-1.
That thumb is not going to be 100% for Cameron Maybin until the year is over, but it sure looks like to me, Mario, that when he does take swings, it's not bothering him nearly as much as it was about a week ago.
Agree. There is not nearly as much wincing after, especially swings and misses, when it seemed to bother him more. 2-2.
Yeah, good counter run here if you're Brad giving and Romine the green light. Even if Maben strikes out, and you get yourself a fresh count for Maben.
There he goes, and a bouncing ball left side. Sano. Maben is out. That'll advance the runner. 2 gone. Here are the field conditions today, presented by Ace Hardware and the Scotts Company. We've got 67 degrees here this afternoon. A lot of humidity in the area, but hopefully the rain is going to hold off. I looked at my trusty weather app, and the weather app says we're okay for the rest of the day.
Well, we must be okay if you looked at your trusty weather app.
Verlander told me to get this weather app, and it's like right 50% of the time. Thanks, JV. 2 gone now. Here is Iglesias. That'll miss inside, 1-0.
And solid single. And to right field for Jose, his first time up.
Batting .247, trying to drive in the go-ahead run here. And a strike on the outer edge, 1-1. On days in which Maben does not bat second, which obviously is the case in this series with Kinsler out, Iglesias gives the Tigers a really good option in that 2-hole. Here's the 1-1. He'll line this one in the air to center field. Buxton is on the move, still going back to the warning track. And right in front of the wall to make the catch.
Boy, can he cover some ground. About Buxton at the top of our show today. This guy has really showed up in the month of September. He really had a slow start to the season, but he went down to the minor leagues. He developed that little leg kick, and he's been doing a lot of damage since he's come back up, and we've already seen him make some spectacular defensive plays in this particular series.
And Buxton trying to utilize that speed by bunting his way on. He looks at ball 1 high.
That should be part of his game, and when you have this kind of speed, Buxton is one of the fastest players in baseball. I mean, you've got the kid Hamilton, you have the kid Mondesi in Kansas City, who I think is one of the fast players in the game.
Let's line them all up, all 3 of them. See
run
who
them in
wins
a
the race.
4x4?
Yeah, see what happens.
And that one kid in center field playing for the Washington Nationals too, man, he can really fly too.
Well, the speed of Buxton has been on display in just the few games that we have seen him. And that ball that he ran down to end the last half inning, he just does it so effortlessly, and that's when you can tell guys just really have good instincts, good speed.
Yeah, he takes great routes.
3-0 is inside, and Sanchez walks him on 4 straight. Time for a game break now with Matt Shepard. going to get it done. Tigers jumped out to a 1-0 lead here, Shep. But then the home run by Dozier tied it up, and now Dozier is in there with the runner at first base, and he'll look at a strike on the outer edge.
Now that's where you have to pitch Dozier. He will not hurt you if you throw firm fastballs 90 miles an hour above and you're able to locate those balls on the outside part of the plate. He might get a base hit to right field, but more than likely it won't be a home run the opposite way.
Swing and a miss. He chased up high. Jim Grand, Detroit brings you the scouting report on Brian Dozier since the All-Star break. Look at the Reds and the Blues.
Lots of damage on balls middle in, right around the belt buckle. He also likes the ball high, up and away, and down the middle, as you can see. And he doesn't like the ball very well down and in or down and away. But most hitters in the big leagues don't like the ball down and away.
Is there a hitter in the big leagues that has a big blue box right in the middle of that graphic? Because if they do, they're probably not in the big leagues.
Yeah, they're not in the big leagues.
Everybody's got red in the middle.
Yeah, but this guy's got some lightning quick hands. Tremendous bat speed.
High pop up down the third base line. Tough play. Here comes Iglesias. He'll get under it. Nicely done. Dozier is out of there.
Here's the first swing of the day for Dozier. If you joined us a little late, that's right in that happy zone. We showed you the hot and cold zone. That would be right in the middle, right around the belt buckle, and that's what he has been doing a lot of this year on that particular pitch.
Dozier, by the way, with his home run today, now has tied Encarnacion for 42 and second in the American League, 42 homers. Trumbo has 43.
Dozier, man, he's already scored 100 runs. He's going to have 100 RBIs. He's already got 40 homers, Mario, 35 doubles. The year that he has had at second base is extraordinary.
MVP type numbers, yet he plays on a team that has a chance to lose 100 games. So that's probably going to take care of his chances.
You got to watch Buxton. He has 9 steals. He's been caught once. It's a nice job by Anibal Sanchez. And you know he's going to try to get to second. This might be one of those opportunities to pitch out. You know he's a young player still learning how to steal bases in the big leagues. You can bait guys like this, Mario, into running.
You know, I was looking at his numbers up in the minor leagues to see, you know, how prolific he was. And one season in the minors, he did steal 55, which is a ton. And there he goes. Pretty good jump. McCannon's throw is in time. They tagged him on the back leg.
Look out, McCannon. I see you.
That's his second caught stealing of the day. If it stands, Buxton is not going anywhere, so I assume the Twins will look at this. But another strong throw by James.
McCann is so accurate, and he just has a great setup once and for all, and then he anticipates very well. And it looks like, ooh, man, is it close.
Yikes. That looks simultaneous.
Better look here. Although we couldn't see the tag being applied to the foot there. Great exchange, great throw. This kind of throw kind of tailed on McCann into the baseline, which caused Romine to have to leave the bag to come and get the ball. No challenge.
Nope. So the caught stealing will stand. The second of the game for James. Base is empty now.
That's a great job of anticipating by McCann. You knew at some point in time Buxton was going to try to get to second base.
McCann now 42.3%. Ground ball to first. Saltalamacchia has it there. He'll take it himself. And the inning is over. No runs, a walk, nobody left. Let's go to the fourth. This doubleheader here this afternoon, Tigers and the Twins. Here's the Chevy Silverado most dependable player, Miguel Cabrera. On the road since the All-Star break at 4:30, heading the way on a pretty good list of players.
Yeah, Eddie Rosario, who is lost for the season, also on that list. And it does not shock me that Jose Altuve is on that list.
As was Gary Sanchez, who is just tearing it up as a rookie. Cabrera hit into a double play in his first at bat. He strokes a ground ball to short, and Polanco will throw him out. What do you got on Gary Sanchez? I mean, this guy, even though he's been up for a little bit, is kind of forcing his way into the Rookie of the Year talk.
And that's what's worrying me right now. I thought that was Fulmer's to lose, but Gary Sanchez, man, with what he has done, 19 home runs in his first 45 career games, that is a major league record. No one else has ever done that.
Arenado, the second player in the last 75 years to accomplish what he has done, and a pretty impressive list of news and notes there. Some things going around the big leagues, but Sanchez heading that list because you just don't see guys come to the major leagues and do what he has done.
And speaking of Arenado in Colorado, they're not a good team, so therefore a lot of people don't talk about him as much as they should. But if Trout is in the MVP conversation in the American League, Arenado should be in the MVP conversation in the National League. His numbers are better than most guys that are in the conversation.
Yeah, he is that good. I think we get a chance to see him next year, right?
Yes, we do.
Interleague play.
We've heard a lot about him.
Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss, and J.D. Martinez out on strikes. 4 punch-outs now. Dean looking pretty good here in this spot start.
Could they possibly, though, give Gary Sanchez, man, the Rookie of the Year in, what, he's going to end up, what, 55 games?
Well, I think there are those that feel that he shouldn't because a hot stretch should not trump guys that have been here all year. And you don't know what his numbers would grade out as if he was here the entire season. But I don't know, man. If they're as good as others, why not?
And for me, it's just a two-player race right now, and that would be Sanchez and Michael Fulmer.
Justin Upton batter with 2 outs. And Jay Up looks at a ball outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. At the start of this ball game, it looked like the Tigers would have their way with Dean. They started with a double, a single, but he has settled in. And maybe the biggest out he got was that double play from Cabrera in the first. 2-1. Upton will take down low. 3 balls and 1 strike on Justin. Only 5 hits so far in this game. 3 for the Tigers and a pair for the Twins. And he lost him. It'll be a 2-out walk for Upton. And we'll see what the Tigers can do with it. Well, the Tigers host the Royals this Saturday at 1:05 p.m. Maglio Ordonez will take part in a pregame Q&A session. Part of the season-long celebration of the 10th anniversary of the 06 AL Champs. 866-66-TIGER for ticket information. Or check it out online, tigers.com. And hopefully Maglio will be able to give the Tigers a little bit of good karma.
Yeah, Maglio was a real good Tiger.
There's a strike called on McCann. Saw a shot there of Victor Martinez, who is not playing today here in game 1. He took some batting practice in the cage underneath, and that knee was still bothering him a little bit.
Well, Brad waited, what, about an hour before the game even started here, before he even gave starting lineups.
Yeah, they waited as long as they humanly could. Neither team took batting practice on the field. They were still getting it in shape from all the rain last night, but they hit underneath, and Victor, they decided, was not going to play in game 1. Game 2 still up in the air. Oh, 0-2 the count. Oh, they got him picked off. J-Up was on the move. Now they're going to run him towards second. And Upton will be tagged out. That'll end the fourth inning. He's picked clean by Pat Dean. 1, 2, 3, it turns out. Go to the bottom of the fourth.
In Minneapolis, the Tigers will play 3 consecutive games without Ian Kinsler. The good news is that might be it. Just after 10:30 this morning, there was Kinsler getting some infield practice with Matt Martin, the Tigers defensive coordinator. What they're trying to do is determine his bounce back ability from that concussion, or the concussion symptoms, when he was drilled in the head by a fastball on Sunday. Ian says he's feeling much better, but he has to go through the baseball activities and then report tomorrow and be cleared. So the chance is, because Kinsler does feel better, that he would be cleared to play when the Tigers get home tomorrow night. Mario?
That would be good news. By the way, John, keep your voice down there. People can hear you when you talk.
The guys in the dugout can hear what I'm saying. Somebody is yelling your name right behind me. I mean, yeah, see here, there, Mario. Yeah, it's very, very weird.
All right, buddy, thanks. It is a light turnout here today. The makeup game, because of the rain out last night, is just an eerie feeling at the ballpark today. But there are some Tigers fans here, rain or shine, following their team. Sanchez had a little run on that fastball, but it missed inside. Can't wait to get the attendance figure here in game 1. We'll pass it along as soon as we get it. Kepler looks at a ball high and away.
It might take all day to count all these folks.
3-2. Well, Sanchez done a pretty nice job after giving up that leadoff home run to Dozier in the first. Bouncing ball to first base. Routine there for Saltalamacchia. Another ground ball out. 1 away here in the fourth.
Well, by Sanchez getting the start this afternoon, Brad really does not have to have a bullpen day per se. And by picking somebody that would have been in the bullpen, but Sanchez had already been stretched out. He was just missed the start last night because they gave it to Buck Farmer. So Sanchez can go 100 pitches in this game easy today.
Here's Miguel Sano. Strikeout victim in his first at bat. Sano fouls one away. He has good power. 23 home runs this year for Sano. Although he's battled some injuries, a bad back, a hamstring problem. And when he first came up, Rod, a lot of folks were talking about stardom written all over this kid.
He's a big body kid. He might have some hamstring problems and some back problems if he doesn't drop a few pounds. Just looks like he's really big.
Big boned. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's Sano.
Be careful.
2-1. Sanchez in the ball game with 3 strikeouts. He has walked 1. Grounded foul, third base side.
It's a good pitch right there by Sanchez. 2-1 count to Sano, so you know he's hunting the fastball. And Anibal Sanchez threw a real nice breaking ball down and away that he could just roll over on. Anibal Sanchez 8 of 13 in first pitch strikes so far this afternoon.
Sanchez's season got off to a rocky start. Even in spring training, he was stopped by bronchitis for a while. Then he had a tricep strain, and it was difficult for him to get through spring training, and it kind of has followed him this entire year. His numbers just have not been good, although there has been improvement in the second half. But Sanchez trying to get back to the form of a couple of years ago when he won the ERA title.
Let's see if he'll throw Sano something off speed here in the 3-2 count.
Fouled back out of play.
Fastball, 4-seam fastball outside at 91.
Sanchez was in his delivery in a late time given to Sano. Well, that's real late. Meanwhile, Sano grounds another one foul. He will strike out. He fanned at his first at bat. He came in 5th in the American League in strikeouts. 162 on the year now, which is the most in Twins history in a single season.
Ooh.
Swing and a miss. He just added to that total. 2 gone. He'll bring up Kenny Vargas. It also brings us to the Bernstein advantage, the pitcher-batter matchup. And, well, this one has been in the favor of Anibal Sanchez.
5 strikeouts for Anibal Sanchez against Kenny Vargas in just 10 at-bats.
0-1. Sanchez now with 4 strikeouts here this afternoon. Ooh, he has thrown the first 2 right by him.
2 ugly swings taken by Vargas.
Very slow swings.
I mean, it's like he's looking for something, and then he swings at what he's not looking for. Looking for a breaking ball, still swinging at the fastball.
Vargas 8 home runs, 16 driven in. Sanchez tried to get him to chase outside, wouldn't budge. 1-2. Both teams got their run in the first inning today. A home run by Dozier. Double play ball scored 1 for the Tigers. One and two. Sanchez right now at 65 in the pitch count. Which is exactly the total that he threw in his last start against Minnesota that lasted 4 innings and then had to come out of the game. Vargas pops that one up. Left side of the infield, Iglesias and Jones. It's going to be Iglesias. And a 1-2-3 inning for Anibal Sanchez. 4 in the books here in Minneapolis. Game 1 tied at 1.
Right now, we're right in the middle of it. We're as good as anybody. You know, you got the division leaders are separating themselves, obviously, but everybody that's in the wild card, I believe we're all very similar. Our records are almost identical, leading to this point. So, I mean, I got to believe we all have a good chance. They're all good teams. It's going to be really a dogfight to the very end.
Well, I think we'd both agree with that, wouldn't we, Rod? I mean, these are some evenly matched teams down the final week and a half here.
Well, we talked about it last night. The Tigers need to approach every game like they're already in the playoffs with that same kind of intensity, because that's going to help them at the end of the day get to the postseason by winning, obviously, as many games as possible down the stretch.
McCann gets it started here and takes a ball outside from Light. 2 balls, no strikes. McCann, then Jones, then Saltalamacchia in the 5th inning. 1-1 game. Bouncing ball, third base side for Sano. And McCann is out. 1 gone here in the 5th inning. Hey, the Tigers will host the Royals this Friday at 7:10 p.m. First 5,000 fans receive a free Carhartt watch hat. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com.
It's already 5 ground balls that Tigers hitters have rolled over towards shortstop or third base against Dean this afternoon. And guys need to change their approach a little bit. Guys need to think about going up the middle or going the opposite way, or they're going to continue to roll over on those fastballs and those changeups that are away from them.
Jacoby Jones, the batter. Jacoby struck out in his first at bat. Fouled away, no balls, and 2 strikes. We're talking about Jones, Rod, learning to play center field, and he'll do some more of that in the fall league. And I would imagine center field, probably, as long as you have some speed, probably the easiest of the outfield positions to transition to.
Oh, absolutely. It's the one position where everything is right in front of you. You don't normally have to worry about the slices and the off the bats, whether it be a right-hander slicing the bat to right field or a left-hander slicing the ball the opposite way to the left fielder. It's the easiest position to play. Most guys that play the outfield will tell you that.
And we mentioned the speed aspect because of center field at Comerica Park being 420 to dead center. Very expansive, spacious outfield in Detroit. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Jones.
He struck Jacoby out the first time up on a fastball that was at the top of the strike zone. They're going downstairs this time. How old was Jacoby Jones when he was playing high school baseball? Was he like 12 years old, 13? You remember that story they were telling the other day?
Yeah, I don't think it was
Kansas
that young,
City?
but I think it was the younger two, years younger than most of the kids he was playing against.
Right.
He was just so physically, you know, ahead of most kids his age. He just kept getting moved up. Tremendous athletic skills for Jones, who came out of the Pirates organization.
He definitely looks the part. He's what scouts look for.
You know, we talk about the 3 pitchers the Tigers got last year at the trading deadline, but when you talk about position players, the Tigers really have not had a whole lot of them come through their system over the past few years.
No, they really haven't. It's been an organization that has really drafted a lot of really good arms. I was talking to Alan Trammell just a couple of days ago. He was in Cleveland. He said that the Tigers have some outstanding arms in their minor league system. Very impressed with their arms. I'm sure they will start to address their position players here, especially as some of these players in the big league start to age a little bit.
Well, the future of the rotation seems to be in pretty good shape. Still built battling for that thing.
Tough finding it today.
Here again is the 2-2 swing and a foul ball.
It's been a good at-bat for Jacoby Jones, and Dean has thrown him everything but the kitchen sink. He's thrown the 4-seam fastball, the cutter, the change, the breaking ball. He has now seen 9 pitches in this at-bat.
Missed inside. It's gone to 3-2. Another foul back out of play. We're talking about guys in the minor leagues that are position players coming up through the system. A young man by the name of Christian Stewart. He had 30 homers this year in the minors.
They're really high on him.
Yeah, between Lakeland and Erie, and so they feel, and he's going to play fall ball as well, I believe. And so there are some kids coming up through the pipeline. Again, the 3-2 swing and a miss, and Jacoby not happy with himself. He battled and battled and battled and then chased for strike 3. 2 gone.
It's all part of the learning curve. It was an outstanding at-bat by Jacoby Jones until this particular point. He got a fastball upstairs. Should have been ball 4. And he left the strike zone.
So with 2 gone, here is Saltilamakia. That'll dive in for a strike, 0-1.
And we were talking about Anibal Sanchez settling in very nicely after the first inning, giving up the home run to Brian Dozier. But this kid here, Pat Dean, has also settled in nicely, keeping the Tigers off balance the last 3 innings.
Well, I'm not sure what they expected out of Dean this year. Now, he has started plenty this season. He's gone back and forth, but a really good effort so far. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fly ball right field, routine for Kepler. That'll settle into his glove for a 1-2-3 inning for Pat Dean. Tigers baseball today presented by Bell Tire. This afternoon, game 1 in this doubleheader featuring the Tigers and the Twins. Sanchez has looked really good since the home run by Dozier in the first. And Kurt Suzuki will lead things off. He'll look at a strike on the outer edge. Lined out in his first at bat, he hit a ball hard to the gap in left center that Justin Upton ran down. And Sanchez stays away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Suzuki and then Grossman and then Murphy in the bottom of the 5th. That'll roll away for ball 2. Buck Farmer got the start last night, and that game washed away. So Sanchez, the de facto starter here in game 1 this afternoon, and he has rolled up some pretty good numbers. That has popped up and headed back to the seats out of play.
Sanchez has always pitched pretty good baseball against the Minnesota Twins. His earned run average just a shade over 3 in his career against Minnesota. Yeah, Buck Farmer, he got the start last night.
Farmer had some control issues early in that game, but then settled in nicely. Here's the 2-2, fouled straight back. I don't know, it's still just amazing to me, Rod, how the Tigers have been able to go down this stretch run here with Zim on the DL, and it's looking like they're trying to get him ready for the postseason, if that. And you know, these young guys have all just stepped up and done their job.
Has somebody told these young kids they're in a pennant race yet?
Apparently not. They have not budged. They have not blinked.
I mean, usually if you're Farmer or if you're Norris or if you're Boyd, you're not pitching this time of year.
No. And if you look at the Tigers rotation at the beginning of the year, I mean, you had Verlander and you had Zimmerman, you had Sanchez. Those top 3 were considered 3 of the best in the game, and now things have changed so much down the stretch. The ball in the air toward left, but Upton will cruise over there. And Suzuki is out, 1 away. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by the Sam Bernstein Law Firm, official legal services sponsor of Fox Sports Detroit. Bell Tire, get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. And by Chevrolet, more than you expect for less than you imagine. How about the Mall of America? You ever been out there?
One time.
Was that all it took?
It's way too big, man. You get lost in that thing.
Yeah, it's huge. They actually have the old home plate for Metropolitan Stadium, the old stadium in Bloomington, which is still embedded in the ground at the Mall of America. They got a little roller coaster there.
They got right everything there.
It's right up your alley.
They got a wading pool. No. No roller coasters.
No coasters. Even the little mini ones in the mall?
Not even the mini ones in the mall.
I'm with you. Grossman hitting here with 1 out. Reaching on an error by the first baseman Saltalamacchia in his first at bat.
Anibal Sanchez has had that real nice swing fastball working here today, anywhere from 89 to 91 miles an hour. There it is again, changeup that time.
1 hopper to Romine, and there are 2 gone. 8 straight retired by the Tigers righty. Pretty good ratio too.
Not bad. 78 thrown, 49 strikes. He's only missed the strike zone with 29 pitches. Some of those by design.
John Ryan Murphy now with 2 outs. Murphy a strikeout victim back in the 2nd. Sanchez has 4 strikeouts here this afternoon. In there, a strike called, 1-1. Getting some activity now in both bullpens as we get to the middle innings of this game. It has been 1-1 since the first. Ground ball, shortstop side, Iglesias. That's automatic, and that's a 1-2-3 inning for Sanchez. He's retired 9 straight.
the big boys, big play of the game. I want you to concentrate on Andrew Romine and where he takes a throw on these 2 attempted steals by Kepler. This was Tuesday. Romine simply grabs the ball, straddling the bag, and applies the tag to the left hand. Here's today. Here's McCann, and look at Romine again. Simply straddling the bag, allowing the ball to travel all the way, which makes it very easy for him to simply grab it and then apply the tag to either the hand or the leg of the base runner. You can arguably say, Mario, had he not taken both of those throws, straddling the bag, then both of those base runners would have been safe.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, those are the little intricacies to that position that Romine is so good at. And now we've got a new pitcher coming on now. So Wallside Windows pitching change. It'll be Alex Wimmers.
Well, Pat Dean did a nice job keeping the Tigers at bay. Now it's up to Wimmers to try to do the same. He is pitching in his 12th game. He has pitched 11 1/3 inning. The ERA sits a shade over 5.5. 10 strikeouts and 10 walks for Wimmers. So Tigers need to make sure that he's throwing some strikes. That's almost a walk per inning.
Romine will lead things off. Looks like the logo fell off the helmet of Romine. Oh, check it out. He swings on the first pitch and skies it in the air to shallow center. It's going to be Polanco, the shortstop. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Well, no wonder why he didn't get a hit. The logo fell off.
Back in the old Legion days, Little League days. 1 pitch, 1 gone. That'll bring up Cameron Maven, and they'll do some work on that helmet. There's Jim Schmeichel. He's going to have to find an old English D to glue back on there. There's a strike on the outer edge to Cameron Maben.
Hey, Wimmer's average fastball 89, 90 miles an hour. He will get up to about 93. Also has a slider, a curveball, and a changeup.
Ground ball up the middle. Polanco scoops it. Spin play, and he got him at first base.
Ooh, real nice play by Polanco. And really the key to the play for Polanco is the fact that he was able to get there without leaving his feet. If he leaves his feet, then obviously it's a base hit. So he's able to stay up, and he picks it off the dirt. Then he turns and fires a strike over to Vargas, the first baseman. Nice play by Polanco.
2 up, 2 down. And Maben quickly down the line, but Polanco with a nice spinning play. Strike 1 on Iglesias, a single and a fly ball in this game. Dropping down a bunt. Here comes Stanella. Forget about it. Tried to barehanded, couldn't do it. Going to be a close play anyway. So it's bunt single for Iglesias.
Iglesias is an outstanding bunter, whether he be sacrificing or whether he be bunting for a base hit as he did right here. Take a look at the bat here. The bat is level. He keeps the bat level and ever so slightly drops the bat head right at contact to make sure that the ball goes down on the ground. He also knows big body Sano down at third base. It's going to be a difficult play for him because he was playing even with the third base bag.
Swing and a miss. The inning is still alive for Miguel Cabrera. A couple of ground balls for Cabrera, but both of them extremely sharply hit.
And Miguel had an outstanding day just a couple of days ago. Outstanding base running if you missed it. And he also homered in the contest in the first win of the series against Minnesota.
Cabrera's double play ball in the first knocked in the only run for the Tigers. Mickey came in a .350 career hitter in this ballpark. Swing and a miss. Down he goes on strikes. Wimmer strikes him out. Nothing comes of the 2-out bunt single. All right, Shep, it's going to be Byron Buxton to lead it off here as we go to the bottom of the 6th, and the Tigers have gone to the bullpen. It'll be a wall-side windows pitching change. Alex Wilson has come on now for Anibal Sanchez, who's done or did terrific work here today.
Anibal Sanchez retired the last 9 batters before departing, but one of the innings that has been an issue for Anibal all season long has been the 6th inning, and I'm sure that had to go into the decision-making for Brad and Rich Doobie to take Anibal out of the game.
1 run, 4 hits for the Tigers. 1 run, just 2 hits for the Twins.
Can you see any other reason why they took Sanchez out of the game?
No, I think you're dead on that. Now, hopefully the Tigers bullpen can continue the good work that Sanchez has laid down here. Buxton waiting on a 2-1, and he fouls it off. 2-2.
And the batting average against Anibal Sanchez is .296, and this is right where he would have been approaching the 3rd time through the Minnesota Twins order. There are a lot of organizations now that will not allow their starting pitchers to even face the order 3rd time through because they feel like the numbers are so heavy for the hitters.
Swing and a miss. Buxton is out on strikes.
Let's take a look at our Bell Tire pitch by pitch. We just told you that Anibal Sanchez gave up 1 run. It was a leadoff homer to Dozier. It was a fastball that was right in the happy zone of Brian Dozier, and he hit his 42nd homer of the year. But Sanchez got busy after that. Everything was out of the middle of the plate, fading changeups, good breaking balls, elevated fastballs, and by and large, a lot of first pitch strikes. Real nice outing today for Sanchez.
Here's Dozier. They'll back him out of there and a ball inside.
It is to the point now where you cannot allow Dozier to beat you. You can give up a single the opposite way, but you cannot allow him to hit the ball to left field where he does major damage in the seats.
One ball and 1 strike. The home run Dozier hit was his 42nd. It also extended a hitting streak now that stands at 24 consecutive games.
He has 334 total bases this year already. Does Brian Dozier.
Bouncer back up the middle. It hit the mound, took a left turn. Iglesias, nice play to throw him out.
Nice pick, Salty.
2 gone.
Iglesias telling their shortstop, Polanco, you're not the only one that can make that play. I can make it too.
That's 11 straight retired by Tigers pitching in this game. Good to keep Dozier off the bases. Here's Polanco. Double and a ground out for Polanco. After the Dozier homer in the first, Polanco doubled, but then tried to move to third on a ball that was hit slightly to his left and was thrown out. So that kind of short-circuited what could have been a bigger inning for the Twins. Ball 1.
And Wilson has a fastball that tops out at about 93. He also has a slider. And mostly cutters thrown. 36% of the pitches he throws are cutters, the right-handers that are outside and inside to the lefties. And he will throw you a changeup, but not very often. And he takes that ball every single time Brad picks up that phone and calls to the bullpen.
Doesn't he, though? He did last year. He's doing it again this year in multiple different areas of the game. Doesn't matter what time of the game it is. He's good to go. There's a strike called on Polanco.
When you can spot that fastball the way that Wilson can spot the fastball on the outside corner, you're going to get a lot of calls from Gary Cedarstrom. Look at the location here. And look at McCann ever so slightly grab it and pull it right back over just a little bit. It's a nice job of framing there by McCann as well.
He'll fight that one off. framing is always intriguing to me, Rod, because there's that fine line of jerking a ball back in the strike zone and easing it back in the strike zone, and there can't be a whole lot of movement, otherwise the umpires can feel a little bit offended.
And I think that McCann did it to perfection on that fastball that we just showed the replay of, where it would look like it may have been a little outside to Polanco, but he just grabbed it and he pulled it back just enough not to alert the home plate umpire.
In the air to center, that's going to be routine for Cameron Maben. And game one rolls along here this afternoon. A 1-2-3 6th inning. Iglesias, fine defensive play, helping out Alex Wilson. Still tied at 1. As we go to the top of the 7th inning here in game 1 in this doubleheader, and Menards brings you the big one encounter. Tigers have won 9 straight here at Target Field, and here are some of the numbers.
9-0, as you mentioned, with a .325 batting average. Look at all the extra base hits, and the Tigers bullpen has pitched exceptional in this ballpark, and they're going to lean on that bullpen again here today in a 1-1 tie in the 7th inning.
J.D. Martinez starts it off, and then it'll be Justin Upton and James McCann.
Yeah, since Martinez has put on a Tigers uniform, his 7th inning or later numbers are simply off the chain. He does major damage late in games and has done so since he came up to the big leagues after the season began in 2014.
J.D. lined out on his first at bat to right field, struck out in his second at bat, and he looks at a ball in the outside part of the plate, according to Gary Cederstrom.
Yeah, nice little cut fastball right there, thrown by Wimmers.
He's ahead of the count, 1-2.
Yeah, there's that changeup. I told you that Wimmers will throw that changeup about 32% of the time, and he's not afraid to throw it to right-handers either. That's the one thing we're starting to see in baseball the last 5 years. Right-handers are not afraid to throw their changeup to right-handed batters, where it used to be a thing that you never did.
3-2. Wimmers came on in the 6th, gave up a 2-out bunt single, but then struck out Cabrera. 6 strikeouts for Twins pitching this afternoon. Here's the 3-2 to J.D. Ground ball to third. Big hop there for Sano. One gone. Hey, the push for the Major League postseason heats up on Fox. Division rivals collide in the race to the postseason when the Royals battle Miguel Cabrera and the Tigers Saturday at 12:30 Eastern on Fox. Or watch it live on Fox Sports Go. Big series coming up against the Royals and then the Indians. And all 7 of those games will be at home. Upton now facing a shift on the infield. And you look at a ball high, 1-0. Justin walking, but was picked off in the 4th. Here's that shift they have. 2 balls, no strikes. Ooh, right off the mask. Murphy dinged up. Wimmers out of Ohio State University. He's 27 years old, born in Cincinnati. He began his career as a starter and then was moved in August of last year to the bullpen full-time. A little bit outside, and the count now goes 3-1. Boshear's warming up in the bullpen now, the left-hander for Minnesota. Upton's got himself in a nice hitting count here. We'll see what he gets from Wimmers. Driven deep in the air to left center field. That ball is way back. Buxton looks up, and it's gone, and the Tigers have the lead. Justin Upton hits his 26th of the year. Two-1, Tigers have the advantage.
Outstanding at bat there by Justin Upton. Everything that Wimmers threw him was either way away or way inside. The one mistake that he made was right down the middle in the 3-1 count, and an absolute wonderful swing put on that baseball by Justin Upton. He absolutely destroyed that baseball.
Flying into the bullpens at left center field, Upton hits a huge homer. Number 26 RBI 79. There's a ground ball left side fielded by Sano. And McCann is out.
Let's take one more look at the Justin Upton swing, and we're going to make it the Magic Moonshot, and it's always presented by Magic Window. 3-1 fastball right down the middle, and just a wonderful swing with great balance put on that baseball by Justin Upton. In the last 27 games, nobody in the majors has driven in more runs than Justin Upton. He's driven in 33.
Upton now has just hit his 8th home run in the month of September. And they get relievers, or have gotten relievers this year as far as home run balls are concerned. And they get another one here today. And it's also a good time for me to remind folks of who the player of the game selections were today.
And who did you take?
I took Jay up.
You did, didn't you?
I took Upton. Right now, he's the go-ahead run. Jacoby Jones is up there now with 2 outs. Who did you have, Rod? I forget now. You had McCann, right?
McCann. He's had a great day. He's had a fabulous day.
Well, he's thrown out a couple of guys.
He's been the difference in the game. He led Sanchez beautifully for 5 innings.
You're making a great case here.
Right.
You really are.
You have to.
Jones, a couple of strikeouts in this game. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Here's where he needs to cut his swing down a little bit. Not a big swing here.
Chopped to third. Sano's been busy today. And Jones is out. However, the Tigers have gone ahead. Upton goes deep. Left center field. Tigers have a 2-1 lead. Coming up, the McLaren Health Plan 7th inning stretch. The difference right now here in game one in the doubleheader is home run in the top of the seventh has given the Tigers a 1-run lead. And now Max Kepler will lead things off for Minnesota. It'll be Kepler, Sano, and Vargas, 3, 4, and 5 in the Twins lineup today. Alex Wilson came out of the bullpen, had a 1-2-3-6. Kepler looks at a strike on the outer edge. 1 ball and 1 strike.
That's a well-located fastball thrown by Wilson there. Two-seam variety at 90 miles an hour. A little late tailing action.
Here's the 1-1. Sanchez and Wilson have combined to retire 12 in a row. Last base runner for the Twins was the walk to Buxton in the third. That's it. Here's the 2-1. Bouncing ball right side for Romine. Easy play there.
And here's our high-speed pitch, and it is brought to you by Xfinity. A 92 top fastball thrown. And since entering the contest by Wilson, he's gone as low as 81 with a breaking ball.
Here is Miguel Sano, who has fanned twice in this game. Sanchez got him both times. Strike called on Sano.
And very important for Alex Wilson to stay out of the middle of the plate to the next two hitters. That would be Sano and Vargas. Both guys have tremendous power, but they can be pitched to. Sano strikes out a lot.
Drives this one toward left center field. Ball is hit hard. It's a laser, and it's going to be off the wall. Sano will cruise to second with a double and a bullet to left center field. Ball was hit hard.
I guess he didn't stay out of the middle of the plate. I mean, that is a looked like a cut fastball that got right back over the heart of the plate, and he absolutely destroyed that baseball. And the only thing that kept it from going out of the ballpark is the fact that it had a little top spin on it. How fast was that ball that got out at, I think it was Comerica Park about a month ago that Jay Up hit like 3 seconds, 3.9 seconds or something like that?
3.5 seconds.
I bet that ball right there hit by Sano off his bat, got to that gate at the base of the wall in about 4 seconds.
Yeah, easy. Well, the hit speed at 108 on that double by Sano.
And it did indeed take 4 seconds from the point of contact until it dented that wall in left center field.
Ooh, massive swing there by Vargas.
Vargas has been taking swings like that for the last couple days.
Twins have only 3 hits in this game. That was number 3. Another swing and a miss.
Does he dare throw anything else other than a fastball upstairs at 91, 92 here, especially the way that Vargas has been swinging all afternoon long? He has not either not picking up the fastball or he is just flat tardy today.
On a check swing, rolled it foul. He was trying to get out of the way of that one. 0-2 the count stays. More action in the Tigers bullpen. It's Shane Green heating up. Again, the 0-2. Wouldn't chase as Wilson wastes one there. That double stops the string of 13 straight retired. Got Kurt Suzuki waiting on deck. Tigers lead game 1 here, 2-1 in the 7th. Vargas in the series now is 0 for 6. A natural right-handed hitter, didn't start switch hitting until just before the Twins signed him to a professional contract.
Everything has been hard stuff to Vargas in this particular at bat. Most of the pitches have been upstairs.
And again, missing high.
You can still get the swing and miss upstairs, but you just can't go as high as Wilson has gone on the last 2 pitches that Vargas has taken. It's got to be right around the letters to get the swing and miss.
Sanchez 5 innings today. Wilson came on, had a 1-2-3-6. Little help from the shortstop Iglesias, who made a fine play. But a 1-out double by Miguel Sano has given the Twins the tying run in scoring position. And he went way high again, too far out of the strike zone. Now it's 3-2.
It would be awfully risky here, but after throwing 6 or 7 straight fastballs upstairs, if he had confidence in the breaking ball whatsoever down and in, that might be a good pitch, but just don't miss with the location.
High pop up, hit it straight up to the right side of the infield for Romine. And Vargas retired, 2 gone. Sano holding at second base. Upcoming matchup presented by Gordon Chevrolet. Going to be a good one. Santana, Justin Verlander.
And Sanchez, for whatever reason, regardless of what his numbers say and how many games he's won during the course of the year, he pitches very good baseball against the Tigers and has done so for a number of years. And Justin Verlander, well, he's 14-8 with a .322, leading the American League in strikeouts.
Brad Ausmus making a trip out to the mound. They've had Shane Green warming up in the bullpen. And Brad has a quick word or two, and he'll go back.
Well, Suzuki's been a thorn in the Tigers' side this year, and I'm sure that part of that conversation was just to make sure that you pitch very carefully to Suzuki. He's not having a good September, but overall this year against Tigers pitching, Suzuki has really showed up.
Hit a ball hard his first time up, lining to left center field. It was run down by Upton. He's 0 for 2.
And hitting .295 is Kurt Suzuki with runners in scoring position.
Back a bit out of there, and a ball inside, 1-0.
Here are some of the numbers that Suzuki has posted against Tigers pitching in the last 2 years, spanning 29 games. He is over .312, and Brad just went out to make sure he reminded Wilson and also McCann of that fact.
It's going 2-0 now. Robbie Grossman waiting on deck. Tigers pitching today, allowing just 3 hits this entire afternoon. Blow it away now, 3-0 on Suzuki. Three of the 8 home runs this year for Suzuki against Tigers pitching.
Well, it looks like they're going to put Suzuki on, and basically pitching around him.
Here's ball 4 with first base open. Suzuki will take his base. That'll put 2 on. That's going to be the end for Alex Wilson. They'll watch Shane Green to come out of the bullpen. Pitching change here in Minneapolis. Still 2-1 Tigers. Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be when it's time. Come to Comerica. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows. We can do that. We are the factory. Well, Alex Wilson is done for the afternoon. He gives way after the semi-intentional walk to Kurt Suzuki to put 2 men on. Wilson pitching well, did give up the double to Sano here in the 7th, and now Shane Green will take over.
And take a look at that bottom note there for Green. Inherited runners. He has been given 17 base runners so far this year when he has come into the game, and not one of those have scored up until this point. Excuse me, not one of those have scored.
Robbie Grossman will test him here with 2 on and 2 out.
Grossman was 0 for 5 against Alex Sanchez, Alex Wilson, who just departed the game. He's 0 for 2 in his career against Shane Green.
Sliced out of play, and the count now on Grossman goes 1-1. Sanchez, Alex Wilson, and now Shane Green. Grossman reaching on an error on a ground ball in the 1st inning. Otherwise, 0 for 2. Green missing inside. 2-1. Tigers trying to hold on to a 2-1 lead here. Justin Upton gave them the lead with a home run in the top of the 7th. Rolled foul now, 2-2 on Grossman. Tigers trying to win their 81st game of the year. They came in at 80-70. Just about everything inside on Grossman. We'll see what Shane Green comes back with on the 2-2. It'll dive low and bounce in. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Tigers right now trailing the wild card by just 1 game. Toronto and Baltimore hold the wild card spots.
And Baltimore has to play the hottest team in baseball right now. That would be the Boston Red Sox tonight. Boston has won 7 straight games. And all of a sudden, Mario, that bullpen that was in shambles when we saw Boston a couple of months ago.
It was a mess.
It's the hottest bullpen in baseball right now.
That's how this game goes. Runners going, and there is ball 4. That's going to load the bases.
And one of the things that you and I always talk about is once you get to the postseason, the team that is pitching the best down the stretch out of their bullpen, that's the team that usually gets into the postseason, and that's the team that usually advances.
Here's T-Mobile's greater coverage of baseball. Here's what's going to happen tonight. Boston, Baltimore, New York playing Tampa, and Houston taking on the Angels. The Astros tied with the Tigers right now, 1 game back.
All of a sudden, the Astros playing some pretty good baseball themselves.
They are still without their ace, Dallas Keuchel. So Murphy will not bat, and Logan Schaefer will pinch hit for him with the bases loaded, 2 outs here in the 7th. First one is low, 1 ball to no strikes, and that'll bring McCann out to the mound. Alex Wilson gave up a double and a walk, and now Green trying to clean up the inning here. Schaefer, a .243 hitter. 0 for 2 as a pinch hitter. Driven toward right field. That ball is hit pretty good, but JD is under it to retire the side. So Green gets it done, and the Twins leave them loaded. 7 in the books here in Game 1. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire.
Here's our Comerica Bank game summary. Cam Maben doubled off the right center field wall to lead off the game. Iglesias followed with a single, and then Cam Maben scored on the double play off the bat of Miguel Cabrera. The score would not stay that way for very long. In the bottom half of the first frame, there's that man again. That would be Brian Dozier, 42nd home run of the year, and the score would stay that way until the 7th. And then it's Justin Upton with a solo shot to straightaway center field. That ball left J-Up's bat at about 105 miles per hour.
So it's 2-1 in favor of the Tigers. Then as we go to the 8th, the Twins will bring in a left-hander. That'll be Buddy Boshiers.
Yeah, Boshiers pitching in his 33rd game, 4.45 ERA, 33 strikeouts. He's only walked 5. So Buddy, he's going to be around the plate.
Meanwhile, Juan Centeno now is the new catcher. Schaefer stays in the game. He'll play left. There's a strike called on Saltalamacchia. In there, a strike called, and quickly 0-2. Swing and a miss. And Saltalamacchia is out on 3 pitches. 1 gone. That'll bring up Romine. This is what happened last time when Romine was coming to the plate. Check out the Old English D. See you later. Just slipped right off the helmet.
It sure did.
They fixed it up.
Jim Schmeichel, he took care of it.
Romine is singled in a pop-up in this game. Getting to start at second, Ian Kinsler.
And Boshiers, basically fastball, curveball, an occasional changeup.
Kinsler took some ground balls before the game today, and still coming back from those concussion symptoms. And the hope is he'll be able to go tomorrow night against the Royals back home.
They'll need him. They go up against a very talented left-hander, Danny Duffy, who's having a fantastic year for the Kansas City Royals. And Michael Fulmer will pitch for the Detroit Tigers. It'll be the 3rd consecutive Friday night that Fulmer has pitched at home.
And it seemed like at the beginning of the year, all of his starts were on the road.
Yeah.
Many of them were. The hometown fans didn't get a chance to see him pitch all that much. There's a base hit to center field. Well, the Tigers have 1 on 1 out. We check in now with John Keating.
Well, Mario, we wanted to make sure that everybody who was trying to get into the ballpark actually got, into the ballpark before we brought this up. But there can't be 1,000 people here. It might be closer to 500 people in attendance. So we started wondering what is the least attended major league game in history. Go back to April of 2015. You remember the Orioles had that game at home. There was civil unrest in the streets of Baltimore, so they played that game with no one in attendance. We're above that, but not by much.
I have a feeling no one is going to remain the record forever in a major league ball game. But yeah, you're right. I mean, there aren't too many folks here this afternoon. And of course, this game was not on the schedule because of the rain out last night. So anything they got here today was either a walk-up or folks who decided to come back from last night's game to today's game with their ticket. Cameron Maben, the batter. And he'll look at a strike.
And many of those in attendance, Mario and Pemba, Rod Allen fans. Lots of Tiger fans amidst the several hundred people here. Yeah.
What are you hearing down there, Keith?
It's a constant dialogue, but of course I'm hearing stuff from the first base side as well. You can hear everything that everybody is saying here today.
It's one of those days. Here's the ball down low, and the count goes to 2-1. Meanwhile, Pat Light starting to warm up. Boshiers giving up a single with 1 out. Maben in this game, a double and a run scored way back in the first. Runner goes. Here's the throw down to second, bouncing into center field. And meanwhile, Romine gets up. He'll go to third. That'll help out the cause. Stolen base and an error on Centeno.
Outstanding jump by Romine. He gets a wonderful jump off Boshiers, and then the ball trickles into center field, and Buxton, the center fielder, doesn't move. I mean, if you're the center fielder, you got to be coming in aggressively, especially with his speed. You may have prevented Romine from getting to third base.
Number 8 this year for Romine. He is 8 for 8. Has not been thrown out. Infield coming in now with a 3-1 count on Maben. Full count, 3-2.
Man, nice breaking ball thrown there. About 80 miles an hour.
Here's the 3-2. And he walked him. I'll put him at the corners now for the Tigers. They'll bring up Iglesias. Hey, the most popular way to follow the Tigers' postseason push is with MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. Enjoy game day, line game video highlights, StatCast news, and more. Get MLB.com at Bat on your favorite devices now.
Mario, just to tell you the rest of the story, 18,374, the announced crowd here at the ballpark today.
No way,
Come on.
John.
You just made that up.
No, that's the actual number. Of course, they base that on tickets sold, 18,374. We might be closer to 18 than the 18,374.
Well, wait a minute. If it's based on tickets sold, there weren't any tickets sold. This game wasn't originally on the map.
It has to be what was
Last
sold
night?
for last night's game, yeah.
Okay, all right. I get it now. Well, that makes sense.
Doesn't seem to be 18,000 people here, I'll tell you that.
No. As you say, closer to 18. That's bunted foul at home plate. So basically, the tickets sold from last night's game, which didn't count last night because the game was never played.
Safety squeeze here. Runner on third base. If Iglesias gets the ball down, then Romine on third base will take off. It's not a suicide squeeze. You didn't see Romine prematurely take off from third base, but Romine always anticipating that Iglesias might bunt in this particular situation. Was it last night that we thought that maybe Iglesias would be up there in a squeeze situation?
Yeah, last night.
Runner on third. It was Saltalamacchi at that time.
Iggy with a couple of hits today, 2 out of 3. Had a bunt single back in the 6th. Tigers would love to add some insurance here in the 8th. They got the home run by Upton in the 7th to put them on top. The 0-1 is hammered in the air to left field. That'll go all the way to the warning track and get the run in. Tagging is Romine. He will come home, and Iglesias gets it done with a long sac fly to left, and the Tigers lead 3-1. And his RBI 30 for Iglesias, 2-run lead.
It's a nice job by Romine getting on base, stealing second, getting the third on the air by the catcher, and a wonderful at-bat by Iglesias.
That'll be it for the left-hander Boshiers. They'll go back to the bullpen. Tigers now have a 2-run lead. 3-1 is our score here in Minneapolis.
After a one-out single, Romine standing on first base. He already has 7 steals. He now has 8. He is 8 for 8 on the season. Then he gets to third base on the air by the catcher, Centeno, who just entered the game, and then a sac fly to left field, deep enough off the bat of Iglesias to plate Romine. So another nice game today by Andrew Romine, who has played a lot lately, and he's played everywhere, and he's played well.
Twins go back to the bullpen. It's Pat Light coming on here in the 8th.
And Lights checks in with an ERA that is over 11.
And his mission now is to get Miguel Cabrera out. Miguel 0 for 3 in the game.
Light's got a good arm. He's got a fastball that tops out at 95. He also throws a slider, and he throws a split-fingered fastball about 40% of the time.
And straighten him up. 2-0 on Cabrera.
If he decides to throw Miggy one of those split-fingered fastballs, if he doesn't get it to the bottom of the strike zone, Miguel might just hit it out of here.
Grounder back up the middle. Backhanded play. Dozier has time, and Cabrera's out. That'll end the inning. A big run in for the Tigers, though. One as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Some defensive changes. Romine now is at first base for the Tigers. We have a new second baseman. That would be Eric Ibar, who will take over there. And across the diamond, Tigers now have Casey McGee playing third base.
Well, Brad shoring up his infield defense.
Byron Buxton leads it off in the bottom of the 8th. Facing Shane Green, who came on, got the final out of the 7th. And Buxton looks at ball 1. Walk and a strikeout for Buxton. And is in for a strike. 1-1 on the Twins center fielder, who after walking in the 3rd was caught trying to steal. McCann threw him out. Buxton sends a ground ball to the hole. Iglesias not going to have a play. Buxton will beat it out. Infield hit.
And we told you that Byron Buxton, one of the fastest runners in the American League, has got those long strides. Takes him very little time getting out of that batter's box until he gets that right foot on the bag.
Buxton is so fast that Iglesias gave up on that play quickly, knowing that there was going to be little chance to throw him out. Didn't want to throw it away.
And Buxton already attempted to steal a base in this game. McCann threw him out. That was back in the third inning after he walked to lead off the third.
Brian Dozier has a home run in this game, and he'll look at a strike. 0-1. That is only the 4th hit of this contest for Minnesota.
And Brian Dozier was hit in the ribs yesterday by Buck Farmer. Manager Paul Molitor said he was good to go for the first game, but he wasn't sure whether he would play in the second game today.
It'll pop up, and Ibar will get there. Ibar dropped it. They're going to call him out. So Buxton will stay at first base.
I remember a couple of days ago we were wondering why they didn't attempt to try to do what Ibar just did, but the umpire wasn't buying it this time.
No, the sell job wasn't nearly as good.
This is where you want to pitch Dozier. If you're going to go inside, you got to go way inside. And then Ibar, he was thinking that Dozier wasn't running, so he was going to just let it drop and then try to get the double play, or either what he wanted to do
get Buxton
maybe was
off the
get
bases.
Buxton off the bases. But
Yeah.
Dozier's as good a base runner as Buxton is.
So here now is Polanco. Double and 3 at bats for the shortstop, Jorge Polanco. .284 batting average for Polanco. McGee creeping in at third base, and another toss back to the bag. Three runs on 6 hits for the Tigers. Run on 4 hits for the Twins. Tigers broke a 1-1 tie and a home run by Upton in the 7th. Sac fly by Iglesias in the 8th. Made it a 2-run game. Tigers with a sweep here today, pending the outcome of the other wild card teams and their games tonight. They have a chance to be in the wild card tomorrow morning. In the air toward right field, J.D. Martinez on the run. He's going to look up. It's off the base of the wall. Here comes Buxton to third. They're going to send him home. Relay to the plate is not in time. It's a double and an RBI for Polanco, and now a 3-2 game.
It's why Ibar tried to get Buxton, who was on first base, off the base path, because I don't know if Dozier scores on this baseball. Dozier has outstanding speed, but he does have Buxton kind of speed. Once Buxton took off from first base, he got to third base, and he was just flying it. I mean, absolutely flying with those long strides, and he's able to make it home rather safely.
Yeah, I don't think they send Dozier on that play. Buxton, much different story.
So it was a real nice try by Ibar trying to get Buxton off the base pass on that little pop-up by Brian Dozier earlier in the inning.
And for Polanco, his 21st RBI, suddenly now 3-2 with a runner at second, 1 out, and the number 3 hitter up there, Kepler. Ball 1.
Here's one more look at Ibar. He clearly could catch this ball, but he doesn't even open up the glove, and he's trying to get Buxton off of first base, which the umpire at second base, Ryan Blackney, was not buying.
In there, a strike called on the inside corner.
He didn't even open his glove.
No, I thought he just flat out dropped it, but he let it hit the off the fingers of the glove. Here's the 1-1 bouncer slowly toward first. Romine. He'll take it himself. That'll advance the tying run to third now with 2 outs. Kepler was sawed off. And now Sano will step in. And before Green can deliver a pitch, McCann goes out to the mound. There's Bruce Rondon warming up in the Tigers bullpen. So here is Sano, who had a double in the 7th but did not score. Twins trying to try this one up here in the bottom of the 8th. They've got a runner at third and 2 outs.
That first pitch, and it was a fastball, 4-seam fastball at 95. McCann wanted it up in the strike zone, and Green didn't get it up as high as McCann wanted it, and Sano had a pretty good swing on it. If he calls for that elevated heater, you got to make sure you get it up at least where he has the glove. They're going to try it again.
Sano had the double in the 7th. Green eventually came out of the bullpen to get the final out. They left the bases loaded in the 7th. Here's the 1-1 pitch. He went around.
It's a nice job. Couple of fastballs upstairs. You get Sano looking up at the top of the strike zone, and then you bury a breaking ball down at the bottom of the zone, and you get a swing like we just witnessed. If you're McCann and you call for another breaking ball, you got to make sure you get down and block it with a runner on third base.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Sano goes down, and that will end the inning.
That's the hat trick for Sano. 3 strikeouts today.
If this was hockey, that would be a good thing. But it's baseball. And it's not. All right, Shep, hopefully you'll be talking about a win. The Tigers have a 3-2 lead now as we go to the 9th inning. J.D. Martinez will lead it off. Upton and then McCann to follow, and there's the ball up and in, which has J.D. buckling out of the box. 3 runs on 6 hits in this game for the Tigers. 2 runs, 5 hits for the Minnesota Twins. Iglesias' sac fly in the 8th inning right now is the difference in this game. There's a ball inside, and now the count goes to 3-0. Light came on in the 8th and got the final out. This is his first full inning of work. 3-0 pitch is taken for a strike. That one a little bit closer to the plate, and he got the call.
And Light's got pretty good velocity. And his fastball gets up to 95. Every now and then he'll touch 96, but he's got a lot of late movement on that two-seam fastball at 95 miles an hour.
And he missed inside, leadoff walk. So the Tigers trying to rebuild that lead. He'll bring up Upton. Justin homered in the 7th, a 1-out solo shot. That was off Wimmers, and that was the 26th of the year for Justin. Ball 1. Light having trouble throwing strikes here in the 9th.
And Light has put himself in that predictable fastball count.
Back him out of there, 2-0. And now Centeno heads out to the mound. Well, Justin got himself in a good hitter's count his last time up, and he belted one to the bullpen.
Yeah, it was a 3-1 fastball that he got from Wimmers.
Frankie Rodriguez waiting to come into this ball game. Right now it's a 1-run game. Here's the 2-0. Way outside. 3 balls and no strikes. The Twins have Michael Tonkin warming up. In there, a strike. Justin on his way to first base. Might have had a beef, but they called it a strike.
If you're just tuning in, this was what Justin did in the 7th inning. The score was tied at 1 at the time. He put the Tigers in the lead with his 26th home run of the season.
And now Justin waits the extra beat. Is that a ball? And it is. Ball 4. Back-to-back walks. And now time called. We'll get a visit out to the mound.
Neil Allen is the pitching coach for the Minnesota Twins.
There's Michael Tonkin warming up in the bullpen for Minnesota. Hey, by the way, last chance for Tigers T-shirt Fridays is Friday when the Tigers battle the Royals at 7:10 p.m. Get a game ticket plus an Ian Kinsler emoji T-shirt when you purchase exclusively at Tigers.com/T-shirt Friday. Hopefully Kinsler back at the lineup as well tomorrow night for the Tigers. Big series coming up against the Royals. Here is James McCann. James 0 for 3.
You wonder if the Tigers are thinking about a sack bunt here, get a couple more runners in scoring position.
Yes, they are. He pulled it back, and he'll take ball 1.
McCann can handle the bat. And last year, his rookie season, he bunted for several base hits down the third base line. He has not done that very often this season. But he can handle the bat whether he's bunting for a hit or whether he's sacrificing, giving himself up.
Bunted back to the mound. They got a shot at third base. They'll take the out there. Throw to first, not in time. So McCann unable to bunt the runners up.
It's a nice job by Light. He bounced off the mound, and fielded his position very well on a poor bunt from McCann, and then was able to get to third base and get J.D. Martinez before he got there. And it bunted way too hard right back to the pitcher, and he didn't waste any time wheeling and turning and throwing to get J.D. Martinez.
That'll bring up Ibar now with runners at first and second, one out. First at bat of the ball game for Ibar, who took over defensively. 3-2, the Tigers have the lead here in the ninth. Fouled back out of play. One ball, one strike on Eric, batting .243. His numbers have been much better, though, since the All-Star break. Tigers got him from the Atlanta Braves. And a deal for Mike Aviles. Way outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Light trying to pitch around a couple of walks here in the ninth inning. That's going to get away from Centeno and go into the camera well. And runners will move up. Upton to third and McCann to second. That is a wild pitch. Hit the back foot of the home plate umpire, Cedarstrom.
It did.
Now with first base open, Ibar is simply going to be given the intentional pass. So that's going to load. Oh, look out. He uncorked it. Here comes Upton to score. He's in safely.
That is the very reason why a lot of managers do not want them to institute that new rule where they just allow the guy to go down to first base an intentional walk. They want the pitcher to execute it, and Light could not execute it. We've seen pitchers do this time and time again. They're doing something they never ever do, and that's just lob the baseball. And he lobbed it right over the head of the catcher.
I don't think I've seen it with a runner at third base to actually score a run. That thing wasn't even close. Well, what a nightmarish inning for Light. His wild pitch advanced the runners. Then they couldn't even walk the hitter intentionally.
Another wild pitch.
Yeah. And that one scores a run. Big run for the Tigers. Another pitching change. We'll be back. Sanchez got the start in this one, and he was really good today. It started out shaky, gave up a home run in the first inning to Dozier, but Really not a whole lot after that, just 2 hits. Upton and Dozier with homers in this game.
Anibal Sanchez, before departing the game after pitching 5 innings, retired the last 9 Minnesota Twins. Turned it over to Alex Wilson, and then it was Green, and now they're going to turn it over to K-Rod.
First things first, though, as the Twins go back to the bullpen trying to get out of this 9th inning. The Tigers have already scored a run. Michael Tonkin coming on.
And Tonkin looking for a ground ball here. He throws quite a few ground balls. You can take a look at his overall numbers. In 62 games, the ERA sits at 4.83, a 1.42 as far as the whip is concerned. He's walked 22, and he's punched out 76.
Well, here's some good news. Victor Martinez has moved to the on-deck circle. Wasn't able to start this game. Of course, he took some batting practice in the cage before the game to see how that knee was feeling. And so Martinez now is hitting for Saltilamakia.
And very important for Victor to make sure that he gets something that up in the strike zone that he can loft deep enough to the outfield to plate that very important 5th run of the game.
Actually, this is McGee's old spot in the lineup. He took over defensively. McGee was in the 8th spot. So technically batting for him. Now we'll see how Victor does here. Tigers have a couple of runners on, 1st and 3rd, and a run in. Victor, of course, was hit on the knee. As you look at his numbers against Tonkin, they're really good.
Yes, they are.
4 for 6 with a couple of bombs. Hit by Trevor Bauer in that game in Cleveland. That was on Sunday. They had Monday off, hoping that it would get better, but he couldn't play.
Here it is. Victor in a lot of pain.
Immediately by that reaction, this was a direct hit to the knee. Here's the 2-0. Outside, 3 balls, no strikes.
And Victor might just swing here, 3 balls and no strikes if he gets something really good to hit, or Tonkin might just be trying to pitch around Victor to load the bases and play for 2 off the bat of Romine. He hasn't been close really with any of the pitches. Literally not close. Uh-oh.
Driven high in the air and deep to right field. That ball is way back, and it's going to go. A long home run for Victor Martinez, who will hobble around the bases gladly.
That is the 3rd pinch hit home run of the season for Victor Martinez. He did it in back-to-back games to begin the season in Miami.
I guess the knee's okay. He's not moving all that well, but so what?
Yeah, you don't have to run very fast when you can hit him as far as Victor just hit that last fastball. And indeed, he was swinging. And 3-0.
7-2 ball game.
That's what you do with a 3-0 pitch right there, partner. You've got one thing on your mind, and that's to make sure that you do not get jammed, and you're trying to really hit something in the gap. And if you can hit the ball out of the ballpark, that's even better.
And he did it on one leg. 5-run Tigers lead now, so they've gotten a lot of insurance here in the 9th inning. It's turned into a 4-run frame.
And that, my friends, is the reason why, if you're an American League team, as the Tigers will have to do, you hate to finish the season in a National League ballpark because you won't have that man right there.
Little chopper right past Tonkin. Going to be a tough play, and no play. Dozier tried to barehand it.
Here's one more swing at the very impressive home run off the bat of Victor Martinez. Tonkin wasn't close on the first 3 pitches, and then he threw a ball down at the bottom of the strike zone, and Victor went down to get it. And he waited until the last possible second, and he put that classic uppercut swing on it, and he left the building. He hit that thing a mile.
So I'm guessing Victor's going to play in the 2nd game then.
I don't know. This place just got quiet.
It's been quiet all day. It's only like 300 people here.
But it really got quiet. How's that crowd noise in your headset, by the way, man?
I can't hear a thing. You're loud and clear in my headset. 0-1 pitch is going to miss inside. Tigers have scored 6 of their 7 runs in the last 3 innings.
Why don't you just yell down to Brad and ask him if he's going to play Victor in the nightcap?
I'm sure he can hear me.
He can hear you.
I'm sure we'll get some critique on the play-by-play in between games. Bouncer up the middle into center, base hit.
That thumb, as we said earlier, is starting to feel a whole lot better for Cameron Maybin. He's got some real good bat speed the last few days.
Tigers not letting up here in the 9th. They've had 3 walks and now 3 hits, and Mark Lowe has replaced the closer, Francisco Rodriguez.
Well, no need to use Frankie any longer unless Lowe gets into some trouble in the 9th, and you could save Rodriguez for the nightcap.
Which is going to feature Justin Verlander, which means the Tigers be in pretty good shape if they hold on to this one in getting a sweep, which would do wonders. And they climbed right back into that wild card chase when the Tigers lost that second game in Cleveland, the night they were shut out 1-0 in 10 innings. Boy, it was doom and gloom.
It appeared that way, didn't it?
I mean, everything you saw on social media is, well, season's done. We're not going to rebound from this. And baseball teaches us over and over and over, with the volume of games you play, you're not out until you're more games behind than games left. Outside, 2-1. I mean, even at that point, they were still just 3 games out of the wild card. Now they are 1, but a chance to gain a half game here with a win. Boy, this bullpen for the Twins here late in this game cannot throw a strike.
Well, they've got the worst pitching staff in all of baseball for the most part. Their starters' ERA is very high. Their bullpen earned run average is very high. They've committed a lot of errors this year. And Paul Molitor and whoever the general manager is next year, boy, they're going to have to do some restructuring of this 25-man roster.
There's another walk. 4th walk in the inning. Tigers have reloaded the bases now. And Miguel Cabrera licking his chops as he steps in.
Yeah, Miggy 0 for 4 in the day game so far today.
Ball 1. Miggy's got some new shoes on today. Very flashy. Little tiger stripe action.
Yeah, tiger prints on there.
Outside, 2-0.
And Tonkin is asking for trouble again, the same way that he fell behind Miguel Cabrera. He's not going to have the luxury, the same way that he fell behind Victor Martinez, 3 balls, no strikes. And he's not going to have the luxury of throwing a fastball by Miguel either.
Three 3-0. Seven runs, 9 hits for the Tigers, 2 runs, 5 hits for the Twins. Strike called on the outside corner. Cabrera is the 9th man to bat in this inning. When we started the frame, the Tigers had a slim lead. And he walked him, and that'll be an RBI for Miguel. Romine comes around to score. Hey, another visit to the mound. The RBI for Miguel is 94th. Tigers now have an 8-2 lead. Hey, by the way, fans, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with the all-new Fox Sports Go app. Download the app and take Fox Sports Detroit and Tigers baseball with you wherever you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 walks in this inning. And one of them was on an intentional walk, which sailed over the catcher's head.
And Tigers have walked 7 times overall today.
JD started the inning with a walk. That'll dive low. 1 ball, 1 strike. One and 2. Light started the inning, and then Tonkin came on after Light walked 3, including uncorking that wild pitch when he was trying to intentionally walk a batter. Hammered foul back out of play. 1-2 the count stays.
How good is Victor Martinez? He has not played, really hasn't picked up a bat all that much in the last 3 days. In the first swing that he takes, he hits it out of the ballpark for a huge 3-run home run. His bat-to-ball skills are tremendous, Victor Martinez.
That's going to get away. Went around for strike 3. There's nobody covering home plate, and Maben scores standing up. Another wild pitch gets a run in.
That ball was really not that far away from Centeno, the catcher. And an outstanding read and a jump by Maben. And that's what you want down the stretch, Mario. These guys are playing like they're in the postseason already. It's a breaking ball that trickles away about 3 to 4 feet. And by the time the Centeno gets over to get it, Maben's already off and running, and he's able to score without a play.
That'll make it a 9-2 game. And that, by the way, was the 42nd pitch thrown by the bullpen in this inning alone for Minnesota. There's ball 1 high and away. Well, I think we've seen that, Rod, really the last couple of weeks. Even when the Tigers had gotten down, they've not given away at bats. They continue to kind of grind away at this thing. Upton skies one in the air to right field. Should finally get him out of the inning. It is going to be a 6-run inning for the Tigers as they bust this one open. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Game 1 of the doubleheader, 9-2. On Sunday, Victor hit by a pitch. Today, take that. Long home run, and the Tigers have broken it open. They lead 9-2. A 6-run 9th inning has busted this one wide open. Hey, Tigers fans, support the Detroit Tigers Foundation and the Chad Tuff Foundation and receive a limited edition Detroit Tigers bow tie. Your donation will benefit youth baseball and pediatric brain tumor research. To purchase a bow tie or for more information, visit tigers.com/bowtie. Well, the Tigers go to the bullpen now. They're searching for the final 3 outs, and Mark Lowe is on to get them.
And Mark Lowe has been pitching some pretty good baseball for the last 3 weeks or so. Has not been giving up a lot of runs. His fastball has been getting clocked regularly at about 94 to 95, and his slider has been much better. And that's a good sign down the stretch to have Lowe pitching better than he had been pitching for a couple of months during the course of the summer.
Dixon Machado will take over at second, and Ibar will move to third.
Tigers have a lot of interchangeable pieces in their infield right now. Basically, they have 4 shortstops playing in the infield. Romine is a shortstop by trade. So is Ibar. Of course, Iglesias is a shortstop by trade, and so is Dixon Machado. So I guess they got some good hands in that infield, don't they?
Well, they better be able to cover ground, too. Vargas, the batter.
4 shortstops in the infield.
Vargas 0 for 3, couple of pop-ups and a strikeout. Lowe missing a little bit low, and the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I think what Lowe has found, Mario, because his velocity really wasn't there all season long, and he basically had been overthrowing that slider, and that slider had been flat. But I think what he has learned how to do, because the fastball's really only been at 92, 93, he's taken a little bit more off the slider, so it's about 81, 82. Now he's starting to get a little bit more depth. He's not overthrowing it anymore.
Well, I mean, do you think going forward here, I mean, the way he's pitched, if you look at his numbers in September, I think Brad can start to lean on him or at least trust him a little bit more.
I agree. I agree.
Well, that's not to say that Shane Green won't be pitching in the 8th. He will.
Or Rondon.
Or Rondon. And he got him strike 3. Vargas thought it was a little bit high.
Yeah, a lot of nice little swing back fastball there thrown by Lowe. Lowe was outstanding last year, and that prompted the Tigers to sign him to a 2-year contract. But you take a look at his pre-All-Star numbers. His ERA was over 10, but in 19 innings after the All-Star break, his ERA is just a shade over 2. Opponent's batting average is very low. Well, the numbers across the board much, much better for Mark Lowe the second half of the season.
There's a bouncing ball left side of the infield on the backhand there, Iglesias, and he'll throw him out. Two gone. Well, here's what's coming up in the nightcap, the main event, as they say. Justin Verlander and Ervin Santana.
And both guys are pitching pretty good baseball right now. Verlander looking for his 15th win, and Ervin Santana looking to play the spoiler tonight and prevent his team from being swept in the 3-game series.
Last chance now is Centeno. And it's in there for a strike.
That's what I'm talking about right there, that last slider at 82, 83 miles an hour thrown by Mark Lowe. He's taken a little bit off of it. It's a little bit slower, therefore getting a little bit more depth and break with that pitch. Another one.
Really, really good sign based on where Lowe was at the beginning of the year. The 8th inning guy, and he had slid so far, but he's found his groove at the end here. Here's the 0-2. Low and outside. 1-2 on Centeno. One more out to get for the Tigers, and they will win their 81st of the year. They'll get back out of play down the left field line. Tigers involved in a tight one here today until they blew it open late in this game, the last couple of innings. Upton had a big home run. And the 1-2. He takes it high. 2-2 on Centeno. Staying alive. Should Centeno reach? We'll keep this thing going for the Twins. Swing and a miss. He struck him out, and that puts the cherry on top of the Sunday today. Tigers win 9-2. Now we send you to the Call Sam Studios. Matt Shepard standing by with Tigers Live postgame.